The conspiracy opens on a pivotal day as China initiates an invasion of Taiwan, triggering a cascade of international reactions. Russia, seeking to expand its influence across the eastern continent, aligns itself with Trump, signaling a shift in global alliances. The leaders of China and Russia demonstrate a remarkable level of cooperation, coordinating their strategies and ambitions. This partnership sets the stage for a rapidly changing world order, where the balance of power is being redefined. China utilizes its extensive data capabilities to support Russia, supplying valuable information on people across the globe and aiding in the creation of sophisticated biological weapons for Russian interests. This partnership, while seemingly beneficial, carries significant risks beneath the surface. There is a real possibility that Russia could eventually turn these powerful tools against China itself. The complex dynamics of this alliance highlight the potential for shifting loyalties and unforeseen consequences. Iran's deep-seated animosity toward Israel and the United States adds another layer of complexity to the unfolding conflict. In a surprising move, Putin shifts his stance and targets Iran, launching a nuclear strike that eradicates its leadership. This dramatic action sends shockwaves throughout the region and alters the balance of power. As Western influence wanes, Putin begins to consider betraying Trump and taking care of Israel next, seeing an opportunity to further solidify his own dominance on the world stage. Europe is plunged into chaos as Russia, bolstered by China's military support, launches nuclear strikes and deploys a powerful fleet. The scale of destruction is unprecedented, leaving nations scrambling to respond. Amid the turmoil, President Xi finds his leadership under threat, his position growing increasingly unstable. In a dramatic turn, he is invited to seek sanctuary in Russia, mirroring the path taken by other embattled leaders facing overwhelming challenges. China's advancements in biological research are increasingly shaped by Russian interests, as both nations seek to expand their global influence. In pursuit of personal longevity, Russia's leadership explores unconventional scientific methods, further intertwining political ambition with technological innovation. Meanwhile, the United States continues to play a pivotal role on the world stage, maintaining a balance of power. The evolving alliances and strategies among these nations create a complex and unpredictable international landscape. Xi is eventually poisoned by a Russian spy, days before a final day in which Russia now controls China with much more communist guidelines. Russia will then use the entire enslaved and clueless world to try to take over America. Trump was always a pawn for Putin, thinking friendship can save the world while Brim simply outsmarted and outnumbered. Putin starts launching massive nukes at the US, who shoot nukes back while trying their best to end Putin's communist rise of evil. What happens next is assumed totally unknown. But currently, there is no doubt America shall win, but Russia still has power to destroy and recreate Europe and Africa. Putin might help other countries in the Far East, like Indonesia and Japan, to reach his goal of betraying China when they are no use for him. Putin doesn't give the slightest care for his own Russian populace. Recently, 800,000 people are locked in a doomsday battle, which Putin himself is unleashing in his own country. But he still shifts the blame on Ukraine, and Trump, out of fear, supports it. In the Ukraine war, millions died as Trump suggested. But Trump also said that the Biden administration minimized casualties to avoid a horrific truth by what only Trump and Putin know. Putin, in the meanwhile, hides in a safe spot in his mansion, and he could easily be the last man standing in Russia before he orders a nuclear catastrophe to unleash step by step. China are afraid of Putin, and that's why they submit to his communism and craziness from the start. Once Russia will see Xi's regime turning into chaos, it will offer Xi a safe passage to Russia. Previously, Assad was rumored to be poisoned by a Russian ally. However, the world needs a good lie, of course, so it made up the rumor that Assad now lives a popular luxury life on Russia. The United Nations have always blamed Israel for anything wrong which happens to Hamas terrorists. But of course, Putin had to defend himself, so he armed Iran with very powerful weapons and munitions, expecting them to finish Israel. Despite this, Bibi remained loyal to Russia to avoid an angry conversation with Trump. Trump would even betray Israel if Putin suggests that should happen, out of need for a stable, dominant U.S. within our world. Russia has two key allies, Belarus and North Korea. Both are communist dictatorships working for Putin's New World Order ideas, and both are merely pawns for what's coming. There is currently no evidence that Putin will betray them, but some European countries and war experts fear that it could be true. Russia has no loyalty to anyone, as Putin's ideas are based on his career at TGA KGB, who were controlled by Stalin before anyone even knew Putin has existed. Putin sees communism as a tool to make a better world only for himself, without any rivals, including the US and China. His plans for immortality are only to make him closer to invincible. The world should act today to stop what's coming tomorrow, so let there be no surprises from Putin.